Let's just be really honest with ourselves, shall we? As runners, we only have two choices when a setback hits. Choice one is we wallow in our own self-pity like a little baby wet wipe and we let it all get on top of us. And trust me, I've been there. Choice two is we claim the situation back, we take control and we do everything we possibly can to solve it. And I try to live here. So, over 40 days ago now, I was forced into stopping running. I had to tear down my training completely. I had to tear down my diet completely. I had to make some pretty wholesale changes if I wanted to survive 2026.
Right, check this out. Up to 5 weeks before Berlin Marathon in September 2025, I hadn't actually had a significant injury since early 2020. I'd had to pivot the odd session here and there over the years, but nothing that kept me out for long periods of time. For 5.5 years. And then in 1 week, I wore my carbon shoes one too many times and boom, Achilles blow up out of nowhere. So I pivoted to the bike, training took a hit, I got to the Berlin start line still feeling pretty good, and I ran a 2:57, so it was fine. Back on with the training, I rested a bit, trained for Cape Town, that didn't happen, then ran Shanghai at the very end of November in 2:50, lovely stuff. Except it wasn't lovely stuff. 1 week later, on an easy half marathon at Angkor Wat, and boom, my right calf felt like it had exploded. It was more pain than I'd experienced for a long time in running, and it was on the other leg to the previous issue. So that was early December. I stopped running for 2 weeks and I cross-trained. I tried again. No. I rested 2 more weeks. Tried again. Okay, we're back in business. Oh no. And we're 2 weeks on from that. I've taken 6 full weeks off of running, interspersed by some trial and error. But it was the decisions I made at the start of January that completely changed this journey, my health and fitness, and my body.
So you're probably wondering, what did I change? Well, obviously, on top of just completely stopping running for a long period of time, I changed 3 really specific things. 2 are pretty obvious and 1 I don't think you will have seen coming. The first one is I really committed to cross-training. Like, I went hard and I had a strategy that I'm going to share with you. The second one is that not only did we join a gym, finally, but we also put together a strengthening routine that we think will hit all of the areas we need to work on. And again, I'm going to share that with you. And the third thing is, I went vegetarian for 30 days. It's not bad. Yeah, that was definitely the hardest one. And here's the thing, right? I'm sitting here feeling stronger than I've felt for a long time, leaner than I've been for a long time, and I'm gonna share everything I did with you in this video. It won't be completely groundbreaking because consistency is the thing that gets you there, but I think you'll be able to take away a few nuggets. So as I sit here right now, we've got about 3.5 weeks until Tokyo, and while I've done nowhere near the volume I need to do, the fitness metrics are telling a pretty decent story. I'll put them on screen here. You know what? Sub 3 might still just be about on. Let's talk cross-training, shall we? Because it's what I am about to do. And it's how mentally I think I've gotten through this period is that I've been able to pivot. My background, if you don't know, my background is triathlon. Before I was a runner, I was a triathlete, a pretty decent level, represented Team GB in my age group a couple of times at European Championships. So it's always in me and in my legs to want to cycle, to want to swim. So I guess I'm lucky in that respect. I have that option. And I live by the rule when it comes to cross-training of no pain, then train. So what I mean by that is, if I jump on the elliptical, if I swim or whatever I do, if there's no pain in my legs, and particularly at the injury site, then crack on. Like as much as your body can handle, really. And I'm not just limited to pain within the session, I kind of mean pain afterwards. If there's no repercussions from that training, then have at it. And I realise completely that it's not a one-size-fits-all strategy, and there's lots of different options that you have. Like, for example, I'm literally about to jump onto my trusty steed, and a lot of people don't have that available to them. Some other options that I've used in the past, I'll list them off. I've loved spending time on the elliptical because it kind of mimics that running feeling without the impact. So if you've got like an injury like tendonitis, you can pretty much successfully negotiate your way around that. A lot of people use the Stairmaster, which I don't, but I know it's an option. People use a rowing machine, but I swim as well. Like my body is basically a triathlete's body. And while none of these movements can like exactly mimic that feeling of running to your body, what it can do is it can keep your cardiovascular fitness high, and it can keep you feeling purposeful and in the game. And ultimately, that's what we really want, right? Is that we're moving forwards. Look, you can't really see it, but all of this swimming, all of this cross training has kind of, I can't even show you, but like I've actually got lats again, like I've got little wings, and that's all from the swimming. But I'll tell you what it does is it translates into me feeling like a stronger runner. Like while I'm out there running, my shoulders, my lats, my arms feel stronger, and I know I don't need them specifically for running, but when you feel more powerful in the upper body, you definitely feel like a stronger runner overall. You feel like you carry yourself in a better way. I feel as strong as I've felt for a long time, and that can only be beneficial to my running. But I do also think the vegetarianism, to a certain extent, it did move the needle. Right, let's talk vegetarianism and the whys and also the drawbacks that I had at the very start. I suppose I wanted to do this for my health. I felt like I wanted to give vegetarianism a go. You know, we were like 75% vegetarian anyway. Like our breakfasts are all vegetarian. Most of our lunches are vegetarian, and we eat probably predominantly white meat, chicken, rather than anything else. A little bit of processed food here and there. I love eating sausages, sorry. But I felt with this journey, there would be less chance of eating processed food. There'd be better chance of weight maintenance, and maybe less inflammation in my body. The results were really interesting come the end of the month, I'll be honest. But the problems I have is that I have a severe anaphylactic nut allergy, and two things crop up. In Thailand, the first thing is it's pretty difficult to be a vegetarian, to be honest. And the second thing is they don't even really have a word for nut alone. You know, their word tua is nut, it's also bean, but it's not peanut. It's not specific enough for me to be safe. So if I'm out eating dinners out, I have to be really cautious. So I fell into the trap in the early days of kind of eating processed food, pizzas, pastas, chips. It sounds crazy, it's just not worth the risk for me. It's very difficult to translate that you have a nut allergy in a country that doesn't really have nut allergies. It was just, even in the first 5 to 6 days, I say, what we started to struggle with almost immediately was like the evening meals. Because we have maybe 3 or 4 that were our go-to usually, like when we were not eating a vegetarian meal, but then we started to struggle. We started to like not have enough recipes.
So we're already struggling. We're 12 days in and we're struggling to think of recipes. So we've like mixed 2 recipes. We've gone for potato massaman curry with broccoli, taken out the chicken.
So that led us to the point where we were like, well, we've got to do something about this. Like, we can't just fall back on the recipes that we already knew. There's not enough of them. So we went out to one of the local stores that kind of has food, Western food from the UK and the US, and we bought this selection of, I guess you would kind of call it almost processed, but not processed food, like sausages, vegetarian sausages. We bought corn mince, we bought burger patties, but they were protein. I would actually appreciate someone telling me, like, how processed are these things? Are they as processed as eating processed meat? I'm not up enough on it. 75% of what we do is vegetarian, right?
Yeah, we always have lots of stuff like halloumi, baked beans.
But I do
black beans.
Oh, well, let's see. It'd be interesting to see what the meat substitute, whether we can even tell a difference. Oh, we're really branching out now. Look at this. Veg, sweet potato, some kind of replacement burgers. So I think vegetarian food has come quite far, because what we were starting to realise at this stage, maybe 12, 13 days in, is that the difference in taste and texture is not as huge as it used to be. Like, there was a time that eating corn mince would be like eating some cardboard.
The taste, it's just a different taste.
And you know, the training was going well, so whilst we were doing this vegetarianism, in the background, we're training twice a day, we're making sure that, I'm certainly making sure that my cardiovascular system is being worked, so that when I can get back to running, I can kind of put the miles in the legs quite quickly and bring them up to fitness, but my cardiovascular fitness is already there. And we were more and more adventurous, but I think day 18 came to a head a bit. This is quite a pivotal day, because I think it's January the 19th, so we're like 18 days into this, and both of us woke up this morning feeling like really tired, and we've been feeling tired for a few days, and I think we maybe hadn't connected the dots. I'd actually say we're irregularly tired for the amount of work we've been doing. Mary's had a recovery week, we've had a super chilled weekend, I'm not running training at the moment. We're sleeping without alarms, and yet we're waking up feeling tired. And the only thing that I can think of is perhaps we're not getting enough protein. We're definitely getting enough calories, and I'm not blaming being vegetarian, that's not what I'm doing, but I'm wondering if the level of protein that we need for the training that we're doing is not enough. So I'm kind of doubling down, trying to do a couple of protein shakes now every day, as well as what I'm eating now, which is like rice and egg. So we'll give this a go. We'll see if we feel less tired over the coming days. Mary might switch back to meat. This is not her experiment, it's mine. And Mary's got 100-kilometer training weeks ahead. So just in case that's what it is, that we haven't got the protein right just yet, it's much safer that Mary transition back into eating more protein.
Yeah, I need to feel good and energized.
Yeah, we can't be feeling tired going into this biggest training block before Tokyo. So Mary made the decision to start eating meat again, at least white meat and fish, and she was still training at this point and putting in big miles running, so I, fully encouraged and backed her on that. But I tried to stay the course, and I wondered if this was something similar to when I gave up sugar for a month. I went through this incredibly bad spot about 15 to 18 days of that month where it just felt awful. Everything else, I just felt so tired, and everything was grim. Training was hard, life was hard, and then I came out the other side and felt better than I ever had. And I upped the protein. I started taking a lot more protein, which I had in the house anyway. So it is the day after we decided we were really tired and we weren't sure if we're having enough protein, so I'm doubling down. 2 eggs instead of 1. I have broad beans as a side, and I've had a protein shake already this morning, first thing when I woke up. I assume it's going to be a few days before I feel the benefits of the increased protein, but because I still feel quite tired, but I'm hoping. So I'm just doubling down. Whatever I can get in my body protein-wise, we do it. And I'll be honest, I did kind of feel the same thing as when I gave up sugar. After about 18, 19 and 20 day, when we got to day 21, I started to feel great again. A plant-based protein burger with lots of roasted vegetables, essentially, and it's delicious. So we ended the month feeling, I would say, dare I say it, pretty damn good for this, and I'm fully aware that it's not just the vegetarianism. I'm aware that it's the vegetarianism as well as the upped training cardiovascularly, as well as the going to the gym. But right now I'm at a place where I feel great, and feelings probably aren't going to impress you, because maybe we can feel great in a bunch of different circumstances, but here are some metrics that I think were really open my eyes. I don't wear my watch in bed, so it doesn't track my sleep, but what I do know is my natural waking up time now is 6:30 instead of 6. Like, my body is allowing me to sleep for a little bit longer, and I feel more rested when I wake up. And on the Garmin, you can track your body battery at least, and if you look at the difference between daily body battery in December and then January when I was doing this experiment, I wouldn't quite say it's night and day, but it is quite a stark difference if I put them side by side. And I mean, ultimately, I have got leaner, and that's a combination of the 3 factors that I've been going through in January, but it definitely helps with portion control. So, am I going to stay vegetarian? No, probably not. Am I going to be more vegetarian than I was before? Yes, more than likely. And essentially, as I mentioned, all I then did was I joined a gym and we created a gym routine that we can kind of get in, hit it, 30 minutes, and that is working a treat as well. So we're going to share that with you, and that was the third part of the process. Okay, finally, let's talk strength and conditioning, the thing that has enabled me to be an absolute huge monster. Okay, but it has helped me feel a lot stronger. And what we've done is we've done two things actually. We've got a home routine that we do on a Monday that takes care of all of the bits and bobs that we think need work on, like isolated. And I'm talking about, we have glute specific, hamstring specific, upper body specific, all broken down, easy to do, 20 minutes at home. That's not the bit I want to tell you about. We then joined a gym. We went to the gym and we put together this routine that we can get in and out of the gym in 30 minutes and hit all major muscle groups in a way that we think is going to improve our running. And it's based on advice that I got from and read about from strength and conditioning coaches, which I'm not. I will hold my hands up. But when we go to the gym, after a good warm up, 5 to 10 minutes on the elliptical trainer usually is what works for us. We then go into something we call supersets. And what supersets are two exercises back to back, but that work completely different parts of your body so that you don't have any rest period in between. The first superset we do are squats, 7 reps, into pull-ups, 6 reps. And then we go straight back into the squats and we alternate there. Then we rest for 2 minutes and we move on. Bench press, 6 reps, Bulgarian split squats, 8 reps on each leg. Again, upper body, lower body. And finally, we do single leg weighted calf raises, standing on a weight plate so that our Achilles gets some tension under length. And I also do bicep curls into shoulder press with some dumbbells. Again, there's no rest in between those reps, we just rest at the end of the total set. We do 3 lots of each every time. And by doing this routine twice and working out at home once a week, 3 times a week in total, running is what I get to do.
Look, don't get me wrong, this is an easy 5K and even now I know I'm not out of the woods. My body, like I'm 46, let's be honest, my body doesn't work like it used to, it doesn't repair like it used to. I've got to be super careful, I've got scar tissue, I can still feel it in the calf. But what I do know is, I feel stronger, I feel more confident in myself, and I'm going to give myself the best chance of getting to that Tokyo start line with a shot. And I'm talking about a shot of a sub 3, because I'm not stupid enough to think this is game on, but I know what my body can do, I know how strong it can be, but I'm definitely going to play it by ear. None of us are invincible, especially as we're getting older. Another 5K in the bag, a hot one this time, but it's leg training.
And while Mary is in there, no doubt crushing her marathon pace workout, which will be Wednesday's video, our Tokyo training, my weeks are going to look a little bit different from now on in terms of the cross training. Swimming I'm keeping every morning other than the mornings I go to the gym. So it's swim or gym. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm running 4 times a week and I'm cycling the other days, but Monday is just swim and a home workout. I'm going to keep a high element of vegetarianism in there because I think it has really benefited me, and obviously I'm going to the gym or I'm working out 3 times a week. That's how I believe I'm going to get myself to the start line with the best chance of a decent performance, even given everything that's happened to me. And then we'll see what this one does as well. But you definitely want to be following along for the journey because Tokyo is just the start. And if you like this video, you are 100% going to like this one, which is why your easy runs possibly making you slow and what the solutions are. And you're also definitely going to like this one, which was my last marathon performance in Shanghai and one I'm really proud of, and should give you an idea of what I might be capable of in 3.5 weeks. See you on Wednesday.